Hi guys, so I know this video is like formatted different than my other videos. Like, yes, it is on my vlog camera and like the angle is all different, but that's because I was like planning this video. I started writing a script for it. I was just sitting on my computer trying to think of things to talk about, and then I was like, oh, I gotta get upstairs and get my camera, my battery, focus the whole camera. But that's just like, I don't know, I just thought that would make it feel a little inauthentic, because before I was getting really crazy about the video and I was thinking more about like the technical stuff, when really this series isn't supposed to be like that. This series is not supposed to be about like the quality or like how many views it gets. It's really supposed to just be me like speaking from my heart and my mind and trying to like, I don't know, like empower or bring light to certain issues, speaking from like a teenage girl to a teenage girl. Like that's really what this series is supposed to be. I have like a lisp with my Invisalign, I'm taking it out. So that is why I'm doing it on my vlog camera. And I haven't thought about this video yet. I was looking at my list of topics that I'd brainstormed when I started this series. Oh, by the way, okay, you might not have watched my other video, which was, so I'm starting a series basically on my channel. The series is all about bringing light to certain topics and me just talking about topics that I think or like issues that teenage girls are faced with in today's society, and my perspective on it, my advice on it, me ranting about it, all that kind of stuff. And I just really wanted to make these to like help other girls around the world out, or make people feel like they're not alone. And that's really the purpose of this. And in my last video, I talked about what society does to teenage girls and how they make them feel about their bodies. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below. But today's topic, I decided as I was looking through my list of topics, I really wanted to talk about friendship. I think it's pretty safe to say that at some point or another, we've all dealt with issues in friendship, or problems we faced with our friends, or feeling like we don't have any friends at one point, or getting annoyed with our friends, or getting in fights with our friends. And really today I just want to address like all of these like things that friendship throws at us, all these curveballs that friendship throws our way. And I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about like some examples from my life and how I've dealt with them, and be pretty real about it. So one of the first things I kind of want to talk about connecting to my life is like my like struggle, I guess, with making friends, or like finding true friends. When I was younger, I was really shy. I was like, when I was like 5 years old and younger, I was so shy. I could not talk to anyone. When I met other people, I would hide behind my mom's leg. But when you're that young, everything just kind of works out in your favor, because your mom sets up play dates for you, and in class, everyone's just nice to each other. It's pretty easy to make friends, I'd say, when you're younger. By the time I was in 7th grade, and I had been in the same school since I was in kindergarten, I had never, ever really had to make friends. Yes, I had to make friends when I was in kindergarten, but that's different because you're a kindergartner, and it's much different then. But when I found out I was moving the summer before 8th grade, I was in such a scary position. Like, I was literally looking up on YouTube videos on how to make friends. I realized that I could be really shy and not let people in, and just keep my guard up and not really know how to talk to people. And I was so scared that that was what I was going to be doing. I can't just step outside of myself and like start talking randomly. That's just not who I am. Like, I know there's a ton of people that can just start like talking to new people and like making jokes with them and everything. And I think I've gotten much better. Like, as I've gotten older, I've gotten definitely more confident in myself. But this is something I still am like faced with to this day when I'm trying to make friends, or like when I'm trying to talk to new people. Like, I ended up going to my new school, and that first year I can say was hell. I didn't fully feel myself. I was so anxious all the time. I had so much anxiety around like making friends and talking to people. I was so scared that nobody would like who I truly was, and I had to like fit some sort of mold and pretend to be someone I was not in order to like impress people or to gain friends. But now I realize that is the stupidest shit ever, and I knew it was at the time too. I just like felt so uncomfortable in myself that like that's the only thing that I knew how to do. But if you're trying to make friends, you have to be authentic. That's the biggest advice I can give, is to be authentic. Even if you're not making friends, but you're around people you've been friends with for a while, you have to be authentic and be yourself. And believe me, you'll know if you're being authentic and truly yourself around someone. You'll just feel it. There's people that I tried to be friends with, and I just like I felt myself putting on like a different like persona around them in order to be their friend. I had to filter what I said or like try to think of like new things to say, and that's just not how a friendship works. So if you're in that position right now and you're feeling like you're not fully yourself and you're like having to like change who you are in order to like be with people, you have to work through that, because that is not real. And believe me, if you're true and authentic to yourself, even if you think you'll have no friends or nobody's gonna like you, you're not gonna be like popular or anything, trust me, that is not the case. You're gonna find like-minded people eventually, but continuing to pretend and put on a mask and be someone you're not is not how to deal with it. I quickly learned that, and when I stopped trying to be someone I was not and just kind of like accepted myself for who I was and stopped holding myself back, I can honestly say that I did get real friends, and friends that were similar to me and who appreciated me for who I am and who I feel like I could just talk to and not feel uncomfortable with. And all of that happened after I stepped out of myself and stopped putting on that mask and started living who I truly was and feeling comfortable. So that's kind of my piece on like making friends and finding true friends. Now I want to talk about some of the issues we face in our friendships. Honestly, like I have so much jumbled in my head right now. Like there's so many little like subtopics and I don't know like how to address them. But I'm gonna speak just from my like heart right now. And the first thing that's coming to my mind to talk about with an issue of friendship is like growing apart from like your friends. There's been several instances in my life where I've just been super good friends with someone and like we were so close, we would do everything together and we connected so much and we were such good friends, and then you slowly start drifting apart. And it's not like you don't love this person still, because you still have so much love for this person, but you both are just like going in your separate directions and you're just like not connecting anymore. And I can honestly say that this has happened to me so many times growing up, because I feel like when you're growing up, you're still figuring out who you truly are, and you're trying to find yourself and grow and learn a lot, and that comes with friendships coming and going. Honestly, I think this is one of the hardest things to deal with in friendship. Honestly, I think it's even harder than like getting into a fight with one of your closest friends, because you still love this person so much, but you just are so different now, and like you just feel like you can't connect anymore. And I think that's truly so hard. But when I deal with stuff like that, I always think about like the good memories that me and my friend had together and everything that we like went through. And then I think about like where we are now, and I'm just like, I need to get back to that. I need to fix that. But sometimes you have to like face the reality that like maybe it's like something that can't be fixed, since you both are so like utterly different now and you're on completely different paths. Like maybe you can find your common ground again, but you have to be okay with the fact that you might not be able to. In life, we change, we grow, we evolve, and we just like, life like throws different things at us all the time. And like inevitably that's gonna like change us and make us different. And it's natural not to have the same kind of connection you did with someone you were once extremely close to. It is really hard though. Another thing I'm thinking about is jealousy with friends. A really hard aspect of friendship, especially like teen girls or young girls, is jealousy, because growing up, especially in our world, you see so much online, and like the desire to be someone you're not, the desire to be perfect and have a lot of money and nice clothes and things and perfect hair, skin, teeth, body. Like there's so much like insecurity in like our generation, I think, because of all like the social media and like media and kind of stuff that we're surrounded with. And I think that really like is starting to reflect in our friendships. You might be friends with someone who you think has it so much better than you, like who you'll look at and think they're beautiful, who you'll look at and think they're like have the perfect body, who you'll look at and think they have the perfect family or house or clothes. Whether you admit to it or not, you've probably been jealous of a friend at some point. And jealousy is a completely normal and natural emotion, but when it starts to become excessive and you notice it tearing away at your friendship, that is gonna end in some conflict. Whether it actually becomes expressed externally or you just start feeling it internally, there's gonna be some like built up resentment because of that. And it's something you have to resolve within yourself in order to continue being friends with them. And this is an area that I think can ultimately destroy perfectly like healthy relationships, because you start building up a lot of resentment towards your friend and you start feeling bad about yourself when you're around them, and you literally start to despise them because you're trying to make yourself feel better and you're trying to like cope with this jealousy. But there's healthy ways to deal with being jealous of your friends. The biggest way I think to deal with jealousy is to turn it back around into love for your friend. Okay, the next and probably last thing I'm going to be addressing in this video is toxic friendships. I think we've all had a friendship in the past that was toxic, whether you knew from the start that this person was trouble, or they, like, towards the end you just felt something really toxic coming along. I think we've all been in a relationship that was toxic, or you are in a relationship right now that's toxic. Like, I think it's a pretty normal thing. You're not alone in it. I found this post somewhere a few months ago. I think I screenshotted it, and I think it sums it up pretty well. It says 8 toxic people to get rid of. Those who spread negativity, those who criticize you, those who waste your time, those who are jealous, those who play the victim, those who don't care, those who are self-centered, and those who keep disappointing you. Friendship is a two-way street. You have to meet in the middle at some point. And there's only so much you can do to have a strong, healthy friendship. You have to do your part, but also your friend has to do their part in their friendship. And if you feel like they're not doing their part at all, or they're really not meeting you in the middle, and then I think you should really just call it quits, and it's time to end your friendship with them. You know, people change and they may come around to it someday or at some point, but you can't get into the cycle of just waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to change, or trying and trying and trying to, that at the end of the day you're the only one trying to fix. This applies to literally almost every friendship. It has to be a two-way street. It just has to be. That's how friendship works. So if you're not feeling that, you deserve someone who will go the extra mile for your friendship and will meet you in the middle. And if someone's not doing that, then they're not meant to be your friend anymore. But all you can really do, if you're feeling upset with how your friend's treating you, or how your friendship with someone has been going, all you can do is address it and talk about it in a nice, like, respectful way. Like, don't get defensive or mean or bitchy. Just literally call them or text them or talk to them in person and let them know how you feel from your heart and speak from your truth. You can't control their reaction or what they're going to say back to you. All you can do is know at the end of the day that you spoke your mind and that you tried to make something work out. And if it doesn't work out, then it's just not meant to work out. All you can do is know that you tried to fix it. But other than that, you could be in a completely, like, seemingly, like, healthy friendship, like, with communication strong, and, like, you feel like you're doing a lot for each other, but it just, something could feel off. And there could be moments where it's just, like, off. I don't know how to describe it, but I think you'll really know if a friendship is toxic or not. I just think you'll know. And if you do know, then I would advise you to not put up with it. And I know in, like, high school, middle school, growing up, teenagers, there's, like, a lot of drama regarding friendship. People talk behind their friends' back instead of actually saying it face to face. Honestly, the less drama, the better in regards to friendship. If you want long and deep and lasting, meaningful friendships, then you cannot be involving drama in them. You have to rise above it. You might be itching to, like, start something with your friend and, like, bring a lot of people involved, but no matter how big that temptation is, you have to, well, this is personally what I believe. I think you have to keep a friendship between you and your friend. You can't bring in people, and you can't have people talking for each other, and you can't have people whispering about it to each other. Your friendship involves 2 people, and it should stay like that even when you guys are going through a hard time. But that's a philosophy that I've had, that I've kind of stuck to, and it's worked out pretty well for the most part. So that's my best advice to you in regards to, like, friendship and, like, drama. But honestly, guys, I think that's all I have to say for this video. I would say it actually went better than I thought, but I'll see when I'm editing. Like, going into it, I had no clue what I was gonna say. My mind was completely blank. Also, I still need a name for this series. I'm trying to post a new one, like, once a month or once every 2 months, but I need some name ideas, guys. I hope this helped you in some sort of way. Also, if you want to talk more, follow me on my Instagram, ClearlyChloe. You can DM me on there if you're having, like, specific friendship problems or anything problems or anything. That is all for today's video. Subscribe, because I post every single Sunday. A whole bunch of shit I post on here. And that is everything for today. And I'll see you guys in my next video next Sunday. Bye.
Maybe it's in the color where I left my lover. What an expensive fate.